Welcome back to this week's episode of my show From Idea to Impact, the show that explores the journeys of entrepreneurs turning their ideas into real world change. This week, I'm back with a brand new episode with a brand new amazing guest. This
So,
week, I have none other than Daquan Ali, CEO and founder of the M.A.D.E Way LLC, which he'll break down because M.A.D.E is an acronym. It stands for everything. He's going to break everything down for you this week. He also has his brand new trucking convention, 860 trucking convention coming this weekend that he's going to talk about also. So without further ado, Ali, thank you. I call him Ali. Some people know him. I'm gonna call him Ali.
yeah, just call
Ali,
me.
thank you for being my guest tonight. I
I
appreciate you.
appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you for being a guest on From Idea to Impact. Before we get started, tell us a little bit about the M.A.D.E Way LLC. What does it stand for?
It stands for the Make a Dollar Easy Way.
Okay, I like that. Break that down for us.
Yeah, man. So the M.A.D.E Way LLC basically was something that I kind of looked at and say, you know what, I have a knack for finding myself around different crowds and different groups of people.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to make a way to make a dollar to provide for our families. And it just came to me one day, I just want my brand to be something that everybody can understand.
Listen, it makes sense because as entrepreneurs, as fathers, as men out here today, we're always looking for the right thing to support our families and leave legacy. So, other than your family, were there any other inspirations for you to start this company?
Honestly, it was just my drive and just say, you know what, I need to do something with my life. And I like to be real hands-on.
Okay.
And it's something that I studied and I like to understand and know everything before I jump into any line of business. And trucking was just something that intrigued me. And hey, we're here now.
Gotcha. I got you. So, in the trucking industry, or specifically to you, what are some challenges that you have had so far starting your company? Because anytime you're starting a new company, we have these great ideas. We want to do this. You got an entrepreneur spirit, like just like me. So I know I've started, like I usually tell people, I can show them 35 business cards or something that didn't work. And then they look at this one, look at the network, they look at what I'm doing, they're like, oh, you got it right. Like, nah, this took me a while to figure out this.
Exactly.
So what's one challenge you want to share with us tonight as far as that you had to go through starting your company?
Honestly, it was just learning how to just manage myself.
Okay.
The most difficult challenging part was the self-discipline that you need to build a business, not just start it, starting it and just, going and get your LLC and you have a business started. But ultimately, like your focus had to be on building. And my biggest struggle was just managing my time properly, staying disciplined and understanding that it's a bigger picture.
Listen, so that's one challenge. I know a lot of other challenges facing trucking. I know a couple other people that want to get into trucking, which we'll talk about, which you got your seminar or your panel this weekend. But the trucking industry could be very competitive. What are some things that you're doing with your company to stay ahead of the game in trucking?
So honestly, just manipulating the boards, just manipulating the lanes, we would say in the trucking industry.
Okay.
Meaning not doing nothing out of the norm and illegal, but just find a way to not stay one track. Okay. We live in the New England area, which is by far one of the worst areas to be in the trucking industry in this nation. And you have to be real detailed with how you navigate your business in the New England area because you have so many obstacles. You have not only do you have your regular tolls once you leave the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
You have not only tolls, but you have high insurance rates because you're in the state of Connecticut. Small things like that, trying to figure out the best dollar amount that will make you happy, not necessarily what will make the industry happy.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So I'm on the internet. We're all on the internet. We see different social media. So trucking always interests me. But I know myself, if I can't give 100% like you do, then I don't want to do it. So walk you through it because there's a lot of people, the people have seminars, they have buy my course. walk me
Yeah,
through, what does it take? Like, what's the process? Like from getting a load, I think it's called, to
yeah.
traveling. Like, walk me through that process because I'm pretty sure
So
the viewers are interested in that.
yeah, so once you got your truck on the road and you handled all the, artists organization, getting your EIN, getting your MC number, your DOT number, which that's the process in itself, which will be explained at the 860 Trucking Game Convention.
Yeah.
Um, Once you get on the road, ultimately it's going on a low border, finding dedicated brokers, finding independent contract situations where you could either do final mile delivery, which would be delivering appliances, mattresses to homes, which that work is 7 days a week. You get yourself into those contracts, you automatically put your truck to work 7 days a week for a certain specific amount of hours.
Mm.
So how do we balance that? We balance that by saying, okay, when the truck is down, we need to find work for that. So now you're able to run to an Amazon load board. Now you join Amazon, where Amazon is overnight. So if I just book the contract for my truck to deliver mattresses and appliances from 7 to 5, and then I could book an Amazon postal run from 11 to 5 in the morning,
Mm.
my truck just ran 22 hours, 21, 22 hours out of a day and gross its highest potential. So yeah.
No, that's interesting because that's something I never personally thought about. Like when the people come from the different, to see if you have furniture coming in, I
Yeah,
never realized those are independent people. They may drive the
independent
truck.
contractors.
I did not know that. I just
Yes,
assumed
sir.
because a lot of times I get deliveries, different things coming in my house that I might order, and then there'll be like no name on the truck, and then
Yeah, yeah,
they come knocking on the door with their little form, like, "Hey, are you such and such and
yeah.
such?" And I'm like, "Who are you? Your
Yeah,
truck doesn't even
yeah,
say."
facts,
So,
facts.
that's interesting. I didn't not know that you can actually
Yeah.
do that.
So once and just getting on the road itself, it's one of those things that's like if trucking is something that you're into, or driving is something that you're into, or just being an entrepreneur and just owning a business, trucking is something that you 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 only learn by the experience. It's like so many people can tell you what to do, how to do it, but ultimately, no one can tell you how to do it. It's literally every business is different. The timing of the age of your business can be different. You will have different obstacles if you're a little younger compared to the older guys who've been around for a while. So it's different variables. We can teach you, but ultimately, if I started my company in 2017, I'm only can teach you about the market in 2017, how I started. It's completely different now with 2024. So myself with the M.A.D.E Way LLC, what I'm trying to do is ultimately build a bridge and study the market every single year, study the market every single month. So that way I can give real time information.
So you talked about starting in 2017. So since you started, what have you noticed as far as the evolution of trucking, in your industry?
So honestly, so for me, I didn't start in 2017. That was just more so an example of who started. So I started my truck company in 2022.
Okay.
Um, for me, just from the studies that I've done, and those who I watched and learned from, ultimately in my time, from the 2 years, 2.5 years going on now, I would say just understanding that post-COVID, the glam of the trucking industry went away. It disappeared. And ultimately, fuel prices rose. If the taxes rose for the semi-truckers, prices rose almost 30, 40% within those years. So a situation where it would have cost you 10 to 15 grand to get into the industry a few years ago can possibly cost you 30 to 40 to get in now.
Wow.
Depending on the course that you take. If you
Yeah.
take a course which is financing the truck, trying to find loans from banks, you're putting yourself in much more debt. Now you're on the road trying to fish and trying to feed yourself, and the industry is just not ready to feed anyone yet. It's like you have to really figure it out in order to really find a way to profit.
That's interesting because if let social media tell you, everybody's running to
Make
get
it
into
million.
trucking, and hey, I saw just today, I saw someone, hey, pay me $2,500 to teach about trucking, but they don't tell you that, the obstacles. This is part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on, just to give the real truth about it, because everybody just sees what they see on their phones when they're scrolling, and they make it look easy. They don't talk about being on the road. Like you just gave me a perfect example about fuel costs. I didn't even think about that, but you know, everybody says they're doing things, and this is why I bring the entrepreneurs I bring in. I bring in real life people in the real life
So,
industries to actually
so,
break everything down and explain. So thank you for that.
yes, sir.
So this weekend you got a big event coming. Tell us about the A60 Trucking Convention. What inspired you to start that, first of all?
Um, information, just building a network that will ultimately, because at the end of the day, business is about making money at the end of the day. And your network is your net worth. You know the saying. And since I've always dabbled in being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship, but just entering this industry, you can't do it alone. You just can't do it alone. Like, you have to learn from someone. You have to learn from someone. Sometimes you choose the wrong mentor, or you choose the wrong partners, but that's in life and business, period.
That's
Um,
true.
but once you find the right individuals, you'll learn that that's exactly what took you over the scale.
Hmm. So what are some of the topics that they're going to talk about, discuss? Don't give everything away because people still got to get,
Of
you can
course,
still buy your tickets. Tickets are still
of
on sale.
course,
Don't
of
give
course, of
everything.
course.
What's a couple of topics that you're going to cover or we'll be covering with the panel?
I'm just trying to find the hacks to navigate the New England area, like the real nitty gritty of what's going on in the New England area. Why are we competing against each other when we're in such a small spot of the state? Why can't we come together in one room and figure out what are these brokers telling us when we're booking our loads? Are we getting the same repeated conversation? Does it sound like a telemarketer is on this call when you talk to this broker? Is your negotiation the same as mine? Why am I getting this load for $2 and you're getting it for $1.30?
Wow.
What's the difference? I feel like when you put a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs in one room, regardless of the industry, nothing but gems and diamonds can be brought out of that. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and say, forget this a topic, but each topic will be spoken. It has to get talking about, because we're in a situation where if we don't come together, ultimately the trucking industry in New England could fail.
Gotcha. So what's the format of it? Is it more like we different entrepreneurs or aspiring trucker that want to get into the industry, they're kind of sitting around? Is there a panel? How are you gonna do that? Second
So
look like?
we have a 6-man panel, but ultimately I don't want it to come into anywhere. I don't want it to be a situation where the attendees come in and think that those guys know everything. I don't know everything. I've been through a lot. My experience, I'm an expert in what I've experienced. And we have other people who are experts in what they've experienced. So I feel like the format of it is, yes, we have a panel, but ultimately I want it to be an open dialogue, an open discussion. I want people to be engaged. And I want to be something that we can walk away with where I respect you for who you are, your information that you gave, no matter what level it is you on, because somebody coming into the industry could have studied something and have a different idea to how to innovate the industry. So not just a panel, but an open dialogue for everyone.
Listen, open dialogue is the best format, and I'm glad you're doing that. I mean, I've been to some places, a panel, and then sometimes you get to a panel and you're just sitting there. If you're already experiencing something
The
and you just
board.
listen to them, like they're telling lies or
Exactly.
it's all wrong, or you actually want to get up there and say something. But a lot of people have these things, but I think creating that environment, what you're doing with the A60 Trucking Convention, will allow people to actually speak, because there's a lot of people out here that have been doing it for a while and doing it for years, but they just haven't had the voice to do it. So I think once you're getting like you're doing, putting everybody into the room, you got to learn. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to get into trucking industry, make sure you come to this event. Tell
Yes,
us,
sir.
hit your plug right here. I'm gonna put the flyer right there. Go ahead. Tell
Yeah,
them
yeah.
where is it? Give us the details.
So you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. You put in a search bar, 860 Trucking Game Convention. It'll pop right up. It's this Sunday, May 26th at 2550 Main Street in Hartford, Connecticut, 5:30 to 8 o'clock. Um, Great time to come out. We'll have vendors, all types of vendors, different types of professional individuals that's going to come and actually be a part of our, open dialogue and discussion. And you will hear from people who have nothing to do with this event, but that's a part of this industry, as far as Freightliner of Hartford.
Okay.
You know, people that can teach you about things that necessarily us on the entrepreneur side wouldn't know, because we don't understand the sales side of trucks. So to get somebody to come in there and really be able to give us an insight outside of just us owner operators, be perfect, and it'll be fire, man. It's gonna be fire.
Listen, this is all valuable information because, like I said, people rely on social media, they rely on hearsay. If you have actual vendors that are doing it, match with the people that are actually out there on the road, and then people doing logistics, listen, this is a place that you need to be this Sunday. The
Facts.
trucking,
Facts.
860 trucking convention.
Yeah.
So that's our plug for the convention. I'm gonna keep it moving. My next question for you. So I know personally what you do out here in community. So how is the M.A.D.E Way impacting the community? Are you working with the kids? I know you talked about aspiring truckers. How are you helping the community with your business?
I mean, ultimately, man, my business is my business, but the brand is ultimately what affects everything. Just being Ali, the brand. As you know, I'm a youth football coach.
For which
I'm
team?
at Bluefield Tree
Oh,
Warhorse.
okay. All right. We gotta plug it in there.
Yes. So
Register today.
and I do that with the kids, and I always, of course, I use that as my passion, something that I love doing, just impacting the kids, being a mentor, being a role model. I know you see the wristband here,
I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, but my company itself, my company is mainly geared towards inspiring entrepreneurs and people up and coming. I'm trying my best to specifically go after young Black men in the community that need help to find a way out of the situation that they're in. And trucking has been the gateway for many people to change their lives. And it's the easiest gateway as far as the level of threshold of what you need for entry. And I feel like all of us, if we have any intention of, changing our life, trucking is something where you can learn that will humble you, but also you do it correctly, it could change your life and your family's life for the better.
Listen, audience, I know you can hear the passion. So, Eileen, what's one piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring trucker? Because we have all types of people that watch these episodes. And if you're thinking about trucking, again, come to the convention this weekend. Replay this, go back, take your notepad out, go back and watch it again. He's giving this information, but there'll be a lot more information this weekend. So what's one or two pieces of advice that you have for somebody that's watching right now? They had the idea to get into trucking. What's something that you have for them? What can you give them?
For me, do your studying, read, and don't jump into anything blind. It'll be real difficult. You jump in not knowing this industry and every piece in every line of business. It's difficult if you just don't have the proper information. And secondly, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Simple.
So research, study, because if you were watching this from the beginning, that's the first thing he said. He said he studied the industry. He studied the trends month by month. So studying and surrounding yourself with like-minded individos. So those are great pieces of advice. If you're watching, use it. Use it. It's free. It's here.
It's free.
It's here. So looking ahead to the future, we know what you're working on right now. What does the future hold for the M.A.D.E Way LLC? What's your goal to make an impact in the world with your business, with your trucking, with everything that you're doing?
Ultimately, right now I want to make the M.A.D.E Way LLC be one of the largest lease-on trucking companies in the state of Connecticut, allowing opportunities for new trucking companies that started that have a young MC to be able to run under the M.A.D.E Way LLC. Still profit, still have full access to all the opportunities that's out there, help other entrepreneurs get on their feet in this industry, build a network that will be unstoppable in the state of New England. And I feel like we can do it. It's a bunch of us here. And ultimately, the M.A.D.E Way LLC, that's the goal of the M.A.D.E Way LLC, to be the front man in trying to build the greatest conglomerate in the trucking industry in our New England area.
Listen, I'm gonna jump in right there. We're not gonna say New England. We're gonna say nationwide.
Nationwide.
Because
Yes,
everybody,
sir.
this is about impact, man. We can't aim and
Yes,
say,
sir.
we're going Connecticut, this area. No,
Yes, sir.
nationwide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, everybody that's been on these episodes and those that are watching it, they go off and, they give me a call maybe a month later, like, hey, you know what? I'm in another state now. I'm in another state. So listen, the people watching this, you are inspiring them tonight, and I appreciate it. So before we wrap, I like to have all my guests leave with this one moment. Give us one or two words that an audience, someone that's watching, they can come away with this and get them inspired, make them turn this off or play it back again and then get inspired. What's one or two words that you can leave them with to get them inspired tonight?
Let's see, 1 or 2 words.
Or it could be a phrase. It's up to you.
Or a phrase. For me, your network, it's a net worth. Simple.
Say it one more time.
Your network is your net worth. Simple.
Isn't it perfect? This is where it happens because behind the scenes, with the trucking convention, if you saw the flyers, this brother right here, he called me. He said, "Hey, I know you be on the internet. I know you with your videos." And he reached out to me. "Hey, can you do a voice?" I did it for you, and it's just not working. And it's pure. We're helping each other out, and then that's always the goal of the entrepreneur network. Just getting people in. How can we help each other and help each other build and grow? So Ali, this has been a great conversation with you. I learned a lot about trucking. I learned a lot about the convention, your passion, how you're helping the community. Give everybody your social media or how can they get in touch with you?
First and foremost, grab your tickets from the Eventbrite, the 860 Trucking Game Convention in the search bar. You'll find it. You can find me at Instagram, M.A.D.E Way Rari, Facebook, Rari Ali. It's business. I try to motivate. You can find me on any streams, M.A.D.E Way Rari, Rari Ali.
Listen,
and you could go online to M.A.D.E WayLLC.com and learn all about the M.A.D.E Way LLC.
I was just about to say that. So the M.A.D.E Way LLC, when we're talking and you're watching right now, it's going to flash across the screen like right now. Boom, right there. There it is, right there underneath the M.A.D.E Way LLC. So, Ali, before we wrap, is there anything else you want to let the audience know? This has been a great conversation with you. Again, audience, I hope you learned a lot. It takes a lot to bring these different entrepreneurs in to stop them because if you're an entrepreneur, it takes a lot out of you to do what you got to do during the day. Some people do full-time jobs and they come and be an entrepreneur for the rest of the hours and you got kids, you got life. So, Ali, I definitely want to thank you. Anything you want to leave the audience with tonight?
Listen, 860 Trucking Game Convention this Sunday, May 26th. If you see this after that date, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Always ready for business, always looking a way to improve and progress. So just reach out anytime.
Listen, and if you're watching on the playback, guess what? There's going to be another convention. He already told me he's got some other ones later on this year. So make sure you come on support. Ali, I thank you for your time tonight. This has been another great episode of our show, From Idea to Impact. Have a great night.